All right, it's about 5:45 on Friday, the 24th of July. Monsoon is starting to happen, I think. I think we're getting there. Oh, it's starting to come again. So, first I ran pumps to send water up to the other tanks, not this one. But I've been spending a few minutes here between rainstorms. That puddle, those puddles, I'm putting into here. That's up to almost the first ridge. So the first ridge would be about 100 gallons. And it's gonna get wet. Okay, we're going back inside. But these puddles and those puddles had a lot of water. But the cool part, I only lined the bottom of this with concrete. We are about 3, 4, 5 inches above the concrete right now. I was dropping 5-gallon buckets in there on the end of a shovel just because I didn't have an easy way to reach. And I could pull out 4 gallons in one shot without even trying. So that's getting pretty deep in there. Now it's gone down a little bit since I did that a few times, but I pulled out, what, 5 or 6 buckets, 3 and 4 gallons each. So let's say if it was 6, 20 gallons easy that I just put into there really quick. Now what I'm going to do eventually is run a pump in here, but there is really scummy looking. You know, you can see all the stuff floating, so I didn't want to do that yet. So I just scooped it with a bucket, put it up there. That won't soak in. That's the deal, because right now this isn't quite holding water because the rest of it isn't lined. It's just the very bottom has a concrete. So the water will soak in and soak, get absorbed by the ground. All right. And these puddles will be gone in an hour or two if it quits raining. But it hasn't rained for about the last hour now. But man, there was water standing everywhere. It came down super fast. That's kind of the thing here. If it rains slowly, the ground can absorb it. If it rains very fast, it just pools up on top. Like you can see over there, that's an area I scraped clean. That was where one of the domes was gonna go. Oh, we should look. I didn't even look at this one yet. I have not put any time into the big hole yet. Yeah, it's got water standing in there. So that's just, I haven't done anything. That's just what water fell in there, basically. Yeah, so there's probably 50 gallons in there too. But yeah, this was, you can kind of see the outline. This was going to be a dome, so I scraped it down. So the water, it's a little bit low and the water just pools there. The top layer is more sandy. Water absorbs into that pretty quickly. And then it hits the harder packed layers underneath it, and then it stands there for a while. Yeah, anyway. But anyway, I wanted to give a shout out to David, a longtime supporter of the channel, and a Patreon. Thank you very much. Yeah, so David came back into the area just for a couple days. He had to clean up some stuff, and then he's going back. He normally lives out here, but he's also got family elsewhere in Texas. So he and his family donated me 3 used bikes for parts. Little one there, one over there. Some really good stuff in there. So that's going to go towards the bicycle project. He also, since he wasn't going to be here for a while, set me up with some of his batteries from his solar system. So I will adopt them and hook them up with my system. Also another water tank. And a couple more trash cans over here. And this was just today, right? Also, we got to go into town since, you know, I don't have a truck anymore, so. Yeah, a couple 20-gallon trash cans. These are almost full now. I was in the break between a rain out here. What I typically do, you can see the hoses are still pulled out. I'll run around and drop pumps into the trash cans and pump as much of it into, for instance, the IBC as I can. It'll sit in the IBC for a few days, let it settle out. I got chlorine in there. And then once it's kind of cleared up again, I'll pump it from the little IBC into the bigger tank. And then it goes into the main system. So, because I didn't want to lose any water, when I had a chance, I ran out to here, grabbed a 5-gallon bucket, scooped probably, there's about 15 gallons in each of these, so that's another 30 gallons. So I pulled water out of there. Because all of these are interconnected, that black hose goes between, so when I pulled water out of here, the level in that one drops because it comes to fill this one back up. So I can sit here, bucket, 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 drop it into there. That can sit there. Then when it rains again tonight, there's more room for water in here. Okay, so that's just more capacity. Then tomorrow, I will bring the pumps out and pump that one and this one and that one and that one and all the rest, probably into the IBC first. Unless they look really clear, I've been dumping some of it straight into the main tank. And that's kind of the thing, is what's happening is now that it's rained a few times, the roof is really clean. So mostly these trash cans end up filling up with really clear water, right? So you can see the little pump is in there, and you can see the bottom pretty good. And water's still running off the roofs. Yeah, so this is a lot better. I wouldn't feel, I wouldn't, I'm dying here. Yeah, I wouldn't feel too bad about pumping that into the main tank. So anyway, while I got a break from the rain earlier, I had 2 pumps and 2 hoses, and I was able to pull these 3 and those 2 and those 2 into here to get the levels down. Now when it rains again, they aren't full, so I got more room to catch water. Yeah, but yeah, the muddy water project, that's what we'll call it. I had been saving that for the garden, but I'm done with the garden for now that I've got lots of water. Yeah, go figure. I'm tempted. I'm trying to talk myself out of it. But I could probably do a planting now and get something to grow during monsoon. Might be an idea. But in the meantime, as I get time, the muddy water that's down in that black tank down there, I could put into here and into this tank. Let it settle out. All the mud falls to the bottom, and you can pump off of the top of the tank and pump it into like the IBC over there and chlorinate it, and have, you know, every time it sits in a tank for a few days, all the heavy silt and sand and stuff falls out, and then the water clears up really pretty good. From this tank, I pump it through a filter into the main tank, so I get a lot of the scum out of it. So it's looking pretty good. And then as far as drinking water, then I filter it in the house again before I drink it, or make coffee out of it. That pretty much sterilizes it, right? Boils it, filters it through the coffee. Yeah. The bees. Yeah, the water's just running into here, so these guys are going to be set. Almost got too much water. I haven't had to add water here for a while now. That bucket's part of my homemade filter rig. Yeah, this should show up. That is the piece that was the shade from the garden. This piece used to be the stand that this tank sat on, because I made that to be about the same level as the truck. So I could back the truck up to that, slide the tank onto the top, and then just throw a strap over it so that it wasn't so hard to pick up and put in the truck. I could just slide it in. Since I didn't have the truck anymore, I'm like, what am I going to do with that thing? So I realized it was the right size to give the bees a little bit of shade, and that is making a huge difference, because if I don't have the sun shining on those black dishes, those are trash can lids, the water doesn't evaporate as fast, and it's working out really good. And it's got plenty of room, so the bees figured out like almost instantly how to fly underneath it, and they're doing fine. So yeah, I am not the forecaster. Major rain is happening over there. Looks like rain is happening over there. Definitely rain over here. So I think it's becoming monsoon. This has been one of those roller coasters, because if I run out of water, life gets really interesting, right? No laundry, no showers, no drinking water. So rain is important. So I put in some investment into rain catching. So for now it's paying off. Yeah. Yeah, I've never been so excited to see rain in all my life. And it's been, oh, there's lightning. It's been kind of a funny thing, really, because for the first time, I don't have to go anywhere. And since I don't have a truck, I really can't go anywhere. So, yay, I'm going to shelter in place. But, thunder? When I first came out here, I had no idea about monsoon. I had heard of monsoon, but it didn't occur to me that it happened here. Honestly, I had no idea. I had seen somewhere that you get about 10 inches of rain a year. You know, I figured, well, an inch a month isn't too bad. I didn't realize that most of it came in 1 month. So that was kind of a surprise. But I would get this pit in my stomach every time I saw clouds coming because the road sometimes washes out and I had to go to work. And like when I was riding the motorcycle and you realize that the road actually washed out or it's running water across the road and you can't tell if it's washed out. That makes things a little bit exciting, you know. And it wasn't like, you know, you're flipping burgers and you know, nobody cares if you show up or not, but this was like for the post office, so they kind of, you know, got a little bit upset if you couldn't make it in. So that took a little bit of doing because I had to explain to my supervisor and my manager that, hey, I didn't know it rained out here. And, you know, I brought in some pictures of the road washed out. So I guess they kind of believed me, so they worked with me after that. But yeah, now I can sit inside and look out the window at the rain pouring down and I can hear it running into my trash cans, collecting water, and it's a whole lot more fun when you don't have to be anywhere. Life is good. Life is good. Anyway, monsoon. There's your weather update, right? Maybe I'll get this uploaded before the rain is over. Yeah, you can hear it on the tin roof. All right, I'm gonna go inside and drink a cup of coffee or something. Something responsible. All right, thanks for watching. Stay tuned.